talk of the redevelopment started to pick up. And then we went for the preliminary approval. We were trying to go for the final approval in the November Synod, and we have 6 months. We were $800,000 short. The best part was, within that 6 months, the 800,000 came. 2019, April, we had our groundbreaking ceremony. In 2020, the pandemic hit, and then the church was closed, and we all had to go online. Everything was still slow and steady, but there was no fundraising efforts at all. And then 2021 December, the temporary occupancy permit, we got it. This year, when we started to call in the tenders, we started to talk to contractors, we had wonderful people. We asked, we said, Lord, this is your church and we want to give the best, so give us the best. And he gave us the best. He gave us the best contractors. I thank God for Alan Matthews. Came in and he said, Pastor, you don't worry, okay? We will do what we can. And through him, we got to know, Colin, KKY, wonderful people, beautiful people. From then till now, till today, they're by our side.
The internal team, the sound engineers thought that we should plan how we want the new building to be. So just a couple of years ago, about 6-7 years ago, they drew up the plan and said, we want SDI, we want NDI, we want HDMI, we want 5E for remote controlling of the cameras, we want 6A so that Dante can be introduced into the channel.
Their infrastructure plans were already very well laid out. There's a lot of redundancy built into the system as far as cabling goes, both baseband and for AV over IP. So there's fiber laid from all floors down to home rack. AV data is handled by the latest Netgear Pro AV switches, M4200 series. It was decided much later on about audio console, what to put in for personal mixing and all that sort of fell in nicely along the way. But the video part was specified earlier and at a very basic level for projection. And of course there were financial constraints as well. So things were taken a step at a time, and that was when we decided lights would be a welcome addition to not have to worry about.
We were actually sourcing for a sound system. The technical team that was deciding on this sourced out some companies. Alan Matthews was someone that I actually knew his father. His father from Kerala and his mother used to come to our church, the little cottage that you were talking about. And Alan Matthews said, do you remember my father? The conversation started. And he said, brother, I want to do something for your church. Don't worry about the pricing. Adamson is something that is of the premium range. And we were thinking that it may not be approved. He said, do not worry about that. And he introduced me to Colin. And both of them assured us that this product is one of the best. He convinced us actually. They promised to actually be with us, to walk with us in the installation of the sound system. And I should say they did a terrific job.
COVID was a huge constraint because delays were constant. Things coming in took a lot of time. Coordination became a little bit more challenging. Luckily, though, many of the church volunteers stepped in. They took on roles that had been left empty.
When I look back, I see that, there was fear that this would not happen. The dream that we wanted will not materialize, but apparently it did happen. So I was just sitting down and speaking to those guys who were operating the system. I said, hey, look, I'm growing old. It's now you have to come up the next 10 or 20 years, plan something. I hope that synergy, that cooperation, that relationship continues with the younger generation. We do not forget, especially Alan, we do not forget what they have done for us and be in partnership with them going forward. 5-10 years and we will not go wrong.